Oh my god, it's so orange.
What's going on, guys? Picsoleated here, back at it again with another review. Today we're looking at the Nike Air Max 270. There are a lot of firsts for this sneaker and for Nike with this sneaker, but we'll get into that in a bit. This is the total orange colorway of the Nike Air Max 270, and it released on February 2nd alongside the Hot Punch colorway, which is more or less the same thing, but the heel is pink, or Hot Punch instead of orange. Now we can see by the way that Nike colored this sneaker what their intentions really were with it, but before we get started, feel free to like or subscribe or both anytime during the video if you enjoyed it. It really helps me out and allows me to create quality content for you guys. Now, like I was saying, Nike was very intentional with their coloring of these sneakers. Nike intentionally made the entire upper of this shoe black in order to bring attention to the heel of the shoe. Well, congratulations Nike, you achieved that with flying colors, because that's all I can really be bothered to think of or look at when looking at this shoe. This shoe's design was inspired by two previous Nike models, one being the Air Max 93 and the other being the Air Max 180. This is very clear when you look at things like the shape of the toe box overlay and certain panels, even the shape of the midsole and the swoosh placement on the lateral side of the upper, and just the general shape of the shoe. I got my pair off Nike.ca. These weren't too hard to get during a release. We had two colors released online up in the north side. We had the Hot Punch colorway and the total orange colorway. I went for these, just personal preference. I don't think one looks better than the other. Both look nice. It really comes down to your own preference at that point. And I didn't want mine to look like they had Fat Fugazi Kylie Jenner lips on the heel, so I went for the orange. Just kidding, I actually preferred the orange ones better. As for sizing, they definitely fit true to size. There's no question. I'm a wide footer. Hashtag duck feet gang, where you at? And true to size fits perfect for me. I wouldn't recommend sizing down, as it is a good fit at true to size. I wouldn't even recommend sizing up, because sizing up in mesh is just a loose and weird experience. But maybe you have wider feet than me, and if you do, then it is possible you might have to size up half a size, but no more than that, because they are a snug true to size for me. You know your foot better than me though, so make your decision based on that. I will say this though, they didn't sell out initially during release. I saw a lot of sizes were still available the morning after, but I checked a few days later and most sizes were gone. I think the sizes slowly depleted. Although these weren't hard to get during release, they definitely sold out over time. This is the first time Nike has made an Air Max shoe purely for lifestyle purposes. Any Air Maxes made before these were considered performance shoes, running shoes, training shoes, whichever they were categorized in. And this is abundantly clear how lifestyle these are the more you see and feel the upper of this shoe, because it is primarily a mesh upper. It is all black, which means all the details are hidden in this all black upper. We have a perforated one-piece mesh upper, and although the tongue looks like it could be a separate piece, it actually is part of the same upper as well. We have this fused taping on the toe box with a Nike swoosh at the top lateral end of it. It seems to be a new design touch that Nike seems to be implementing more often than before. It does add a touch of interest to the shoe by placing the swoosh in such an odd, unexpected spot. Might be a little flag influence there if you remember the Maestros and the asymmetrical placement of the swoosh on the toe box of that shoe, as well as the Air Pippin 1s in the same Kith x Nike collaboration. We have more taping along the sides of the shoe, nothing too out there. We have a Nike swoosh embossed into the lateral and medial sides of the shoe. We have all black Air 270 on parts of the shoe. For example, we have Air 270 embossed on the tongue of the shoe in this new text, and I don't think I've seen this on an Air Max before. This new loopy text is probably going to be Nike's way of branding more lifestyle based Air Max shoes, or at least that's how it is for the Air Max 270. The way it's written seems to combine the word Air with the number 270, joining the R and the 2 to make one character, although it's still split in between to help the consumer make the distinction and be able to actually read it as Air 270. We see the same Air 270 branding on the lateral side of the heel as well as the medial side, but you only see the number 270 on the medial side. We see this branding in orange on the insole as well, although I forgot to tape it, but the insole is a memory foam insole, similar to something you'd find in a Jordan 1 or most Nike shoes really, so it's decently comfortable. No new innovations there, but one could argue that you don't really need new innovations in the insole. When this was touted as an exclusively lifestyle focused Air Max shoe, they weren't kidding. The entire mesh upper has no padding whatsoever, and that's something you should know if you plan on buying this shoe. Don't get me wrong, they really made the material taut so you still get a good fit, but it's literally just one layer of perforated mesh and a second layer of thin lining underneath. Probably not the best to wear them in harsh cold weather like I'm doing in the second part of this video. One place there is padding though is at the heel. where there is one layer of padding inside the heel counter area, so thankfully they're keeping that part of your foot comfy. Majority of the midsole is made of good old lightweight foam. If you're wondering which part of the midsole is foam, it's the black part. The rest of it, this bright orange heel, is an Air Max bubble. It is this translucent bright orange color and has the number 270 debossed on it. It is apparently the tallest Air Max bubble Nike has ever made and implemented into a shoe. This is quite evident seeing how far the bubble pops out and just how high it rides on this shoe. It's crazy, I've never seen a Nike Air bubble actually flex this much either. I can depress the whole thing if I put all my weight on my heels. It just sinks in, but thankfully it bounces back up and gets its shape back. There's no fear of it popping or deflating or anything like that. Keep in mind though, you only really feel it when you purposely put a lot of weight on the heel. I didn't really feel it during casual walks around the block. When it comes to comfort, I'm not really sure how to describe these shoes. They're lightweight, the foam midsole is standard comfort, the mesh upper does its job. It's not the most comfortable, but I kind of appreciate the support I get from it. Versus the stretchiness of knit uppers at times, the heel bubble is really comfortable, but it does kind of feel like it's raising the back of my foot off angle a tad too much. Regardless, the comfort is there. The bottom line is they are comfortable shoes. You get the upper support from the mesh, although you don't get the stability. The upper portion of the bubble forms this plastic heel counter around the heel of the shoe for support though, so that's something. Honestly, when it comes to looks, I appreciate what Nike did with the colorway, making it all black to bring attention to the heel, but I truly feel like that was Nike ruining the colorways for the consumers just so they could achieve what they wanted to achieve. Although that's not fair to say because there are a lot of people who like black sneakers and who like these colorways. I will say this though, although the heel pops and I like the way the color of the heel pops, I just don't like the way the rest of the shoe looks, at least not in an all black colorway. It just feels like an overpriced marketing campaign for Nike because now you as the consumer have to pay for their marketing to succeed. The shoe costs $150 US and 165 Canadian, so that's not an expensive price tag at all. These do look and feel great on feet, no complaints about that, and even though these are a lifestyle shoe, they can definitely be styled with more Nike athletic gear like their track pants or tech fleece and whatnot. I think Nike hit it out of the park with these because if I was to find a colorway I liked, I think I prefer this new Nike model versus the Vapor Max. But I've yet to see a colorway I really like, so I'll reserve my judgment on that. Let me know what you guys think about these in the comments. Did you or do you plan to jump on the Air Max 270 ship, or are you going to let it sail away? Catch you later. Picsoleated is Snug.